Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. I'm Marianne. Welcome to Marianne's Mystic Mentions and your second half of the month of November readings. So I've been having a little bit of issue with the videos, but hopefully it'll be okay. I'm kind of playing with the fact that you can have a little more distance and more of the table versus the head cut off and all these kind of, just something I want to continually to evolve and grow with. But I also kind of decided from the last one I prefer it closer. I always hold the cards up so you see what's happening, and that's kind of where I'm at right now. But anyway, for those that are new, welcome to my channel. I am very, very grateful to be here. And as normal, I do have a format. I will read for every single sign in the zodiac 2 times a month, the beginning first half of the month, and right now we're on the second half of the month of November. And it's always amazing how the changes are from the beginning of a month sometimes to the end. It's life-altering at times, and that's what this month provides. We're very much in the throes of Scorpio season, and we definitely have Mars, the warrior planet, the aggressive planet, the powerful, energetic, let's get it done, let's keep it moving, real forceful kind of energy in Scorpio. And then we have Mercury in Scorpio. So Mercury has gone forward. It was retrograde, and it seemed like forever. It always does to me, but it's okay. It all works out. It was in the sign of Libra from the latter part of September through, I think the shadow period ended on November 3rd or something. So a lot of planets were retrograde last month, and the momentum, it felt like we were walking in quicksand. We're just like, I can't, I'm trying to go and I can't, but that's changed, and this is a very powerful time right now. Actually, I would say from the 3rd specifically of November through the 17th, before the shadow period starts of Venus going retrograde, which will go fully retrograde on the 19th of December, and then it'll stay there a really long time in Capricorn. Venus went into Capricorn on the 5th of November. This is stable, kind of success-oriented, getting things done, one step at a time, not necessarily wanting to rush into it, but we want it for long term. We want to be, stable, secure, and grounded in every aspect of our life. And the depth of Scorpio and the passion involved with Scorpio is unmistakable, and it's very much about love, and it's very much about transformation. So, that's a beautiful thing. I've been feeling that. First of all, the featured sign for today, before I forget, is the beautiful air sign of Mercury-ruled air sign of Gemini. Mutable sign of Gemini. The constantly kind of changing and new kind of ideas and inventive air sign. So there's the mind, the thoughts, the detachment a lot of times from their emotions, keeping them at bay so it doesn't interfere with what they need to do. They're very, focused a lot of times, even though I must say a Gemini being a duality sign and quite energetic, they're here, there, and everywhere. So their attention span can be a little shorter than the next because they got something else to do, something else they're thinking about. It's just a lot. It's a loop. It's constant. So they're pulled into this emotional aspect of Scorpio, and it's like, whoa. It's kind of shocking at times, but it also feels really beautiful because we all love emotion in some form or another. Come on, we are emotional beings, okay? So you're getting that, and it can be incredibly beautiful, and it can be with new people or, people you've already been in, just healing certain areas and reaching another, growth spurt or whatever. It's just, just always wanting to reinvent and renew and do better and keep moving. Keep it moving, And so that's happening. And I'm going to pick your highlighted connection that Spirit wants you to know about, like I always do, right in front of you. And then I'll read the 4 major categories for this highlighted connection, but for every single one of your connections in love, whatever that may be, all inclusive, okay? But all equally as important. And then I finish with the 2 oracle messages. And I have changed the decks like I always do. I'll mention what they are as I'm about to use them. But for now, the highlighted connection for you can certainly be a person you're involved with already, very familiar with. Could be somebody coming in. There was that new moon in Scorpio. All new moons bring a new, and then we've got the new with the beginning of, we're in shadow period of the new eclipse series, which involves you, not you, Gemini, I apologize. It also has to do with first starting in Taurus on the 19th, the partial lunar eclipse, and then it'll be the series for the next year and a half of Taurus and Scorpio. A lot of Scorpio energy, once again, a lot of transformation. And I'd be remiss not to mention that there's still a lot of beautiful energy for you in harmonious aspects that are easier, not challenging, energies with Jupiter and Saturn in Aquarius, your fellow air sign. So Aquarius, big, inventive, just helping everybody, thinking, planning, strategizing, something you do so well. Teaching, learning, evolving, basically, through our minds, and through education and ways to inform others, information. A very, very long and strong period coming forward of the air elements of information for all of us to utilize. So I love that. And then, of course, Uranus is the ruling planet of Aquarius, and Uranus is just unpredictability and surprises, and definitely catering to medicine and technology and things that have come through that are going to help us amazingly with technology. It just keeps getting better, doesn't it? Just when you think we have the best thing ever, something else comes along, which is ever inspiring to me, because it just shows there's just this constant possibility and this allowance of, the unthinkable, but it's from thoughts, and then it becomes something, it becomes physical, and I'm getting very philosophical, but you get what I'm saying, and I know you're very in tune to this, because these things matter to you, Gemini, and you want to be in the forefront of that energy. And Uranus is the one, like I said, bringing unpredictability, like things changing on a dime, or, things that are for better or worse, going to change your life. Another transformational energy, and also in the sign of Taurus, which is the first, lunar partial eclipse happening, and then the series happening for the next year and a half. Taurus is a sign of money. Taurus is a sign of, ruled by Venus. So there's magic, there's love, there's creativity, there's femininity, there's that duality. There's a lot of masculine energy right now with Mars in predominance. And yet, there's that balance with Venus, because that's important. The balance is so important always for every one of us, so we don't burn out, so we understand, what's best for us physically, mentally, spiritually. Your highlighted connection, I always get carried away, for the second half of the month of November, like I said, could be somebody doesn't necessarily have to be, could be somebody coming in. That's what started it. The new moon brings in new people. Eclipses bring in and take out people, circumstances, whole new starts kind of thing. So it's always kind of exciting. And, they tell us the storyline in that particular sign, in that part of our life, and that energy we need to focus on for the good year and a half. So it doesn't always happen all at once. It's in pieces. You're probably already very aware, some of it. You have intuition, I'm sure, and that's very strong during Scorpio season. And you have right in the middle. So I don't know what it is, but let me try it again for you. All right, Spirit, what is the best possible, connection that could be brought forth to all Geminis in the second half of the month for reasons unknown and known to me, for sure. And you have Cancer. Well, we just did Cancer, so I will have to do it again. I don't do two highlighteds in a row. Interesting to take note of, though, because Cancer is the fellow water sign of Scorpio. So there is, once again, a lot of nurturing, a lot of emotion, a lot of sensitivity, a lot of protection. Psychic ability, intuition is very, very strong this month. And it started that way in the latter part of October, so it's still happening. Listen to your gut. You listen to your gut, of course, always, but your dreams. I've asked always and forever to retain my dreams, and I do sometimes better than others, but I remembered one extremely vividly waking up this morning, and I wrote every bit of it down. I highly recommend that, because we get really beautiful insights and messages through our dreams. So we'll try it again, and you have Libra. Well, Gemini, I like that, because Libra is your fellow air sign, another thinker. you know, a cardinal sign that likes to get things going and initiate and, you know, balancing things. Very much about balance, very much about relationship, very much about equality, fairness, justice, you know. I mean, something I think we all want to see in life, you know, and we all really want to be a part of, but yet somehow we just have to keep believing and trusting and putting forth that belief and energy out there so that it does become a reality more and more through time. You work well with Gemini, you work well with Libras. You have that fundamental understanding. There's fun, there's creativity for sure. And this could be a person you know about, or it could be that energy you have also in your natal chart, your own personal chart. It could be what happened around, you know, Libra season, where a lot of things were retrograde and there was a lot more introspection. And it really highlighted your relationships, okay? So things have come a long way, even in the last 3 weeks with that regard. But nevertheless, it's still evolving, so something to consider. And if you don't know this Libra, you might be in touch with one. It is the latter part of September, from September 22nd to October 22nd. So you might have been in connection with somebody at work or your family or, you know, your friends, or certainly a relationship, but you didn't really know what sign they were. And that would be Libra during that time frame, okay? So something that really sparked an interest or had some kind of a very important part in your life that had to do with certainly equality, and you're fighting for that or wanting that very much in your life because it felt unbalanced in some way perhaps. And a lot of beauty. There's a lot of, you know, Venus ruled energy by Libra, so that's a ruling planet, so there might have been a lot of fulfillment and some lucky breaks, you know, for you in work or money and that sort of thing. The first category I'm going to read for the 4 categories is always the overall energy, and it does pertain to your relationships of all kinds. If it's not the Libra highlighted and you're not understanding that, you can give it time, but also, you know, it's for everybody. So what you have, and I'm using this beautiful the Queen's Tarot deck, because it is a black and white, a very fixed kind of set energy looking deck. And that's what we have in the month of November, is a lot of fixed sign energy, from Aquarius, as I mentioned, with Jupiter and Saturn in there, to Taurus being fixed, to Scorpio being fixed, and then Leo is the other fixed sign. And I know there's some aspects coming through for that, but I don't remember what that is. You may have that come up in your card. Don't be surprised, okay? So overall energy, and also knowing that the queen of any deck is not necessarily a woman or a man. It is the intuition and the feminine modality within us. We have feminine and masculine energies in all of us. And finding, once again, the balance in that and being in tune and at peace with that. And the intuition that comes from the feminine aspect of us, and the ability to be receptive to that and to feel, which is so perfectly, you know, in tune with these scorpionic energies of this month, the depth. So for you, overall energy, you have the 4 of Cups. Well, I love it because, I mean, this is Scorpio energy, right? This is that incredible feeling and, you know, sensitivity I mentioned. It is Scorpio, but it's also Cancer and Pisces. And I mean, it's the part of you that's really feeling emotional. And I mentioned that right off the bat. We all are, whether you have water in your chart or not. We're going to feel it during Scorpio. It's going to bring that part of us. It's going to bring part of that out of us, if that makes sense. But the 4 is looking outward and thinking, what's missing? I've got so many beautiful things. I am completely content with this, that, and the other. I'm grateful for everything. And I'm just still thinking, what is not quite balanced, you know, with that Libra energy? What is it that I'm wanting? What do I really want? And that's what Scorpio will bring out of you, digging deep. Pluto, you know, the deepest part of us, getting better, getting more real and honest, you know, down to the soul, kind of transformational truth. And it'll come up. Like it or not, here I come, you know, and the loving and appreciating and accepting that is very, very important. It also could be that you're getting an invitation or some kind of a gift, you know, because the cups represent emotions, yes, but they also represent offers and creativity, you know, and possibilities and things that you may not have ever really thought about yet, or you weren't focusing on, because I'm telling you, those eclipses bring stuff in and opportunities and things, and you're like, what? Me? And I would hope you'd feel extremely happy and say, of course, me, and yes. You know, that's a possibility coming into the second half in this eclipse. I mean, who knows? That's stability and permanence in some regard. Commitments, perhaps, you know, and like maybe then what's missing is you have not made that commitment. You think maybe now is the time. I don't know. There's so many variables, but it's beautiful. And you're thinking about it, and you're just really kind of weighing out your everything, your situations, but on a more emotional level, for sure. So I like it. Isn't this gorgeous? The depictions and the illustrations are so amazing. It has so much into it. I mean, I could go on forever, but I always say I need to shorten my videos. I have been out of work for 17 days today, and I go in and do a trial massage again since I injured my wrist, but I'm back at it. Fingers crossed if I'm doing the right thing and I'm not going to overextend myself. Don't want to do that. Extremely happy though, and anxious at the same time. So you know that feeling, and especially in this time, I'm like feeling and picking up on all the energies. I'm like, whoosha, just making sure I breathe deep, and always inviting everybody to do that when you have that feeling. Just ground yourself. I do tapping, I do EFT, you know. Really, really helps. It's beautiful. There's a few really great apps on there. Nick Orton is a beautiful guy that I met years ago in person, and he was at, you know, what they call You Can Do It seminar, where there was a bunch of beautiful authors and people and spiritual leaders that were teaching us all sorts of wonderful things and ways to heal and to grow spiritually as well as physically. Your second category is that of possible blessings or obstacles. And what you have is the, I'm sorry, I better put these on because I can't tell. Ooh, what do we have here? I'm loving it. I love it even without glasses. The Three of Wands. Whoo, fire, 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 passion. Getting it together, man. You are ready. You've got help. Three is a beautiful card of expansion and growth, and, you know, well, certainly with the Three of Pentacles, it represents mastering. Okay, so you're going to get help. This is not just you alone. And I know you're very independent in a lot of ways. Even though you do well in relationships, you can be very independent within that relationship. And you do have you need your time of freedom. I know that about you, Gemini. And it's kind of cool because I think a lot of Libras are similar in that way. So that conformity and that understanding and harmonizing is really important too within a relationship, to have the freedom and know and trust that things are fine. You just need time alone sometimes. You need to have your own independence and autonomy, right? So, but here you're getting help and you're feeling really good about it, because it's really important now in life that we're helping each other. You're wanting to reach out. You're wanting to be of service more. And I absolutely love that. And I love it because it's a positive. I just think that there's some really important, vital changes happening in a lot of lives, and you don't have to do it alone. And that feels great, even though you may feel like you can and so forth. Right now there's power in numbers, and I'm noticing, you know, the fourth cup is the possibilities of what's coming through, but the three is down there as well. So there's been help and people that love you and are there for you. So that's more than a coincidence, I would say. But as we move on, the third category is that of finances. So yes, finances are money. It's wealth in some form or another, and what's important to you and what you consider wealth. And it is an energy, and that's one of my oracles that I'll be reading at the end. And I didn't even realize that for years, you know. I mean, it is currency, right? A currency is a form of, you know, movement. You know, you give and you receive, and that's just, you know, they didn't name it currency for nothing. So it all makes perfect sense when you really delve into anything, I suppose, deeply, like a Scorpio, you know, the detective of the zodiac. But truthfully, it is it's what we believe about it and how we feel about ourselves. And my goodness, in Scorpio season, it's about value. It's about ourselves. It's about the 8th house and other people's money and how they provide and what we give to them and you know, life and death and new and end and, you know, once again, involving others. It's not just about what you have to do on your own at this time. And I see that as a very prosperous, possible, you know, beautiful thing for you, with all sorts of possibilities. So under the finance category for you, you have, wow, the Ace of Pentacles. So the beginning, the new, the pentacles, the coins, the practical, the safe, the grounded, the stable, the secure, the ideas, the fresh starts, the creativity, the lessons, the perfect people coming at the right time, the advice. I mean, this is beautiful, really beautiful. So starting out a little pensive, like, oh man, I don't know, things are good, but there's more. I mean, it's okay to feel that way. I think it's a part of our human condition in a lot of ways. I really do. And as long as you understand that, you know, it doesn't always happen necessarily in the exact timing that you want, and that in the exact way that you put out those intentions, which I hope you did in that new moon in Scorpio, because that's deep. That's still happening. We're still feeling the reverberation of that. But how beautiful is this? I mean, this is all new again. This is something that really, really excites you because you like change. You're one of those signs that you're like, keep it moving, keep it moving. I'm good. I can be in a permanent relationship forever. And I've known and seen that with Geminis, but let me tell you, within that, you need change and you want new and you want to be instrumental in, you know, sparking new ideas for people and providing that communication and that connection, you know? So that's absolutely fantastic. I do see a diamond here, and it could be in a ring. Don't really know. But, you know, I'm not excluding it, not during this time of the year. You might want to put a ring on it. It doesn't matter what sex you are, of course. But that's pretty cool and romantic and beautiful. So there's something going on there for sure. The 4th category is the wishes and surprises, or surprises and wishes. I say it backwards sometimes. I say it ahead. I don't know. I say it differently. It means the same. Because I will tell you that the influence of Uranus is going to be full of those. I've had a couple this month alone. Out of the blue. All tornado went out on Sunday in my car. I don't know if that's happened to you, but I can tell you it's completely unexpected. And you got to deal with it. And I was so grateful to be able to just drive up in my driveway with all the lights on and, you know, like, what is happening? And then once you turn off your car, it doesn't turn back on. But everything was worked out. And I had to let go and just say, it's going to be okay. This happens to all sorts of people. I know this. In fact, a couple of people I texted saying, my gosh, this just happened. They go, oh, alternator. That was my first time, though. That was an unexpected thing. That's the Uranus kind of energy. Is it the end of the world? No. Can you work through it all? Absolutely. Is it all necessarily negative? Which I did, unfortunately, put a little negative slant. I apologize. But it was unexpected. So there are incredibly great things that happen and ones that aren't so great, but you can deal with it, right? But just know that and be aware of that and be flexible to it in your surroundings, okay? And knowing you're always watched over and taken care of. So, but this is different. This is the surprises and wishes that you have created because you want this. This is part of the 4 of Cups. Like, I would really love it if and when and so forth. I know we do that. We all do that. So let's see what you've drummed up for yourself. Beautiful Geminis. The Tower. Woo, baby. Okay, now listen. Don't get upset. The Tower has to happen in all lives. It has to happen to rebuild. It has to happen when things aren't really, you know, the foundation is just not right, so that things are going to fall. It happens in homes. You have to have that foundation, or, you know, the ceiling and all the things, the cracks, the leaks might be predominant in this time. It does happen that way. Nothing you can't handle. Maybe you've already experienced it. Could have already happened during the time it was in your, you know, eclipse season. But I think it's more of an incredible epiphany and idea and knowing this isn't working anymore for me, whatever it is. And saying, I'm going to make the change before it changes for me, you know, it's time. And I think that's a very, very personal revelation for yourself. It could be on so many levels, but I love it because it does create a new beginning, and one that could be astounding, and one that you have wanted for a really long time, but maybe we're just holding back on, or it wasn't time energetically with a lot of the planets and what they were doing in the last couple of months. It is now. You could start the new year just feeling like, who was that person back then, a month and a half ago? What? It's fantastic. I love this. Nothing to be concerned with. I think it's, once again, a shakeup is needed for so many things in life right now. It's needed. We already had the big shakeup that really made a difference, and we came through it, didn't we? So this is something you actually are wanting, and that's under the surprises and wishes category. So you're making this happen, and it's going to better your life and have your highest good in mind. So that's fantastic. And you've got the ace to kind of perpetuate this. So you're the one behind the driver's seat always. How you react to it, how you want to, utilize it, always your free will. But, I'm absolutely loving this reading because there's a lot of cooperation. There's definitely emotion involved. That's what brings things really forward. There's absolute changes. There's new beginnings. And I'm excited because I can't say it enough how that's what this time, every single year of my lifetime, this is the time during Scorpio season when there's a couple times of years, this is one of them when you can really, versus, the beginning of the new year and such. This is one of those times. Let me start that new year, that new me, that new idea, that new enterprise, this new health regimen, this new relationship, feeling with a clean slate, and all the thoughts I had to do during retrograde, it's all understood now. I'm moving forward, and it's all because of my choices and what I want to do, because I was honest and real with myself, okay? And I'm getting rid of things I don't want anymore. And that you can't go wrong, You are the leader of your brigade. Does that make sense? Anyway, I love it. I'm going to move on to the oracles. The oracles this month is this beautiful money and the law of attraction. Because, money has still been quite a big theme. I know it is for a lot of people all the time, but it's really taken a big concentrated energy in this year and a half. And some people have done phenomenally well during the pandemic, and others are, they're really thinking about stuff, and they're wanting to go on their own and be more entrepreneurial, spirited, and that's a big part of the Aquarian energy that you're very much in tune with, and it can work very much in your favor. But it's also about knowing that money is energy, and how we feel about it and how we react and our beliefs have a lot to do with how we accumulate it or not. And so it's just the cause and effect, what we put out, what we receive, what we believe we'll achieve. And so your beautiful message, Gemini, just is a wonderful, healthy, inspired outlook on, and it may be a different way of looking at money altogether. Certainly was for me. Esther, and Jerry Hicks through the teachings of Abraham changed my life. So it's my career is one of creating a joyful life experience. It is career. It is something you're really predominantly thinking about that's going to really make you happy. How about that? Because I know you want to do that for others. That's definitely a part of your nature. And you're willing to change and, move and do all the things it takes to help that. But this is really about what's going to inspire you and make you feel grateful to wake up every morning and attend to. That's where it needs to truly come from. So what it says is if your dominant intent is to feel joy while you're doing the work, your triad of intentions, freedom, growth, and joy, will come quickly and easily into alignment. See your career as one of creating a joyful life experience. You are not a creator of things or a regurgitator of what someone else has created, or a gatherer of stuff. You are a creator, and the subject of your creation is your joyful life experience. This is your mission. That is your quest. This is why you are here. And that's why you're going to get rid of anything you're involving yourself in and kidding yourself about that does the opposite of making and feeling and bringing you joy, okay? Yeah, some days, even your most joyful jobs, you're like, really? But you wouldn't change it for the world. And there are so many times when you're joyfully doing what you love, it's not work. You aspire to it, and people feel that, and it just blows up successfully because of that. So that's a beautiful message for you, and that's what I'm talking about. Looking at money and in the energy of it in that realm, in that way, just, it's incredible, and it's so, so beautiful, and it comes from love. So the final card for you, beautiful Geminis, for the second half of the month, and like I said, it's powerful. There'll be so many things going on. I would love you to share it with me. If you want to subscribe and like and support me in this channel, it would be so beautiful, because that's what it really amounts to, is just pushing the like button and follow me by subscribing so that I can, continue to grow the channel and, continue to bring you readings. End of story. No money involved at this time. Maybe in the future, kind of hopeful, but right now, no. This is just from my heart. These are messages that you can or cannot hear if you choose, but they're there for you. Okay, I'll be here to do that for you. So the final message of the manifest the life you want, right? Message basically is, my greatest spiritual shifts don't come through force, they come through freedom. And that's exactly right. Your freedom to do and free will to do and come from to a place and move to a place where you choose, you create the tower. You decide on what that Ace of Pentacles is. And yes, you're fine with help and the collaboration with others. I never said otherwise, but it is a sense of freedom when you are feeling the joy from it, creating a joyful life experience and life in general. And there's the beautiful, second and root chakras that are creativity and sensuality and, just grounded, present, powerful energy that you have and that you can put forth. So there you go. And thank you for taking your time, because I know you're a busy person, Gemini, all of you got stuff to do, places to go. And I'm just glad you took the time to stay and listen to your messages. Have an amazing Thanksgiving if you celebrate that. I'll be back for the beginning of December readings. So I hope you'll come back and join me then. Until then, take good care. Bye for now.